Good morning, everybody. I hope everything's working. You can't actually tell, but the last 10 minutes have been spent fiddling with things, because of course when you get an idea, you feel like doing it 10 minutes before the actual stream is supposed to start. I don't recommend it, but that's what seems to happen. How's everybody this morning? Do I want to let the Alliance know that I'm live? Why not? I can't spell. Should have done this earlier. Hope everyone's week is going well. Right. Let's go away. So what am I doing? I'm fiddling with Titania as usual. I'm trying to get her set up really for flight mode, essentially in on the steel path. And of course, if I get her good for that, then she's going to be good for most other things as well. So what have I been doing then? Well, the actual configuration for Titania herself had... The one thing I did do was add Ironclad Flight. There is apparently... The only thing I'm not quite sure what that does, disable vacuum in Razorwing. Not sure if that helps or not. The reduced damage by 40% while airborne is always nice. Turns out there is a similar... what's it called? Yeah, there is a similar one which does just reduce damage by 40% while airborne. So I'm not sure if the disable vacuum is useful or not. But apart from that, this is more or less my standard, and I'm sure there are better mods for this. It's just that this is what I've got. I don't have a lot of primed stuff. So... And I don't have fantastic arcanes either. And given that my primary tends to be the Dex Pixia Prime, I've been trying to find suitable configurations for this. Again, I don't have a lot of the primed stuff that people like. So I'm sort of making do. Apparently there's a primed target cracker, which would be nice. The interesting thing I found is some of the so-called recommended setups for this online kind of seem to have this whole, let's just throw as many elemental attacks as we can at the situation and try and maximize critical chance. So that's, and to be honest with you, despite the name here where it says dual elemental, I was doing, magnetic blast and everything else simultaneously, so it seems to work. So I'm going to fiddle around a bit with this, because and the downside is my fire rate has dropped, and the magazine capacity has dropped, which I don't like, to be honest. I much prefer a much higher fire rate and magazine capacity. But like all these things, it's a trade-off. Yeah, you don't have enough spaces to stick everything on, so of course you end up compromising a lot. So, yeah, so rather than 110% multi-shot and 60% dodge speed, I've just gone for the 120% multi-shot. I'm not sure, to be honest, which is technically better. But, we'll see. I've managed to keep... Yeah, we'll see how it works. I'm going to go and run. You going to come and say hello? No, you're just going to stand there and look at me. Alright. In case anybody is wondering, I have not yet fed citrine to the helmet. I am very tempted to. For whatever reason, I don't really like citrine. I don't think I like the design very much. I think it's just weird. Something about it which just, I don't know, doesn't work with me. So I may end up feeding her to the helmet. So let's have a bash at something fairly straightforward. Let's have a little look and see how this works out. See if I can survive a few rounds of this without having to exit flight mode.
Their rage is vehement, their focus impressive. Give them all warriors' death.
And seeing as it's just me, I more or less have to let them come to me. Oh, that works. Interesting thing about the razor wings, I might actually do a run just to illustrate. Half the time, the enemy's fighting the razor wings, which is interesting. I didn't realize. Interesting. But that's not going down fast enough, is it? Whoa, that's a grind. This is not going to work. I can tell you that straight off the bat. Yeah, this is really gonna be a complete failure. I can already tell this. That's good. That was inevitable. Not great survivability if I'm not flying. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. It would have been definitely better had I been in company. Solo, at even that level, not great, unfortunately. Which is... yeah, I mean, I could make her...
all sorts of people have it.
I could make her more survivable by compromising other things. So... I mean, this is mine, which I've obviously optimized for flight and efficiency, and I probably don't need duration. Strength helps. But, which is my duration one. Now, these two, absolutely necessary. That one I do need. That one I need. That I could probably replace with something else. Except that what I want to replace it with is not really going to work. So I could possibly get rid of that. Possibly. No, I don't want to get rid of that.
Operator, are you enjoying the view?
Sorry, put Streamline back on. If I included prime redirection, that might help actually. Because that kicks my shields up significantly. I'm not sure, to be honest, how to make her more survivable. Better shields, unquestionably going to help. Health would also be very nice to have. So then if I say, okay, let's get rid of... I see, I want the ability efficiency. And I want the primed flow. It's one of these juggles. Yeah, I can drop my shields and efficiency. It reduces damage by 20% when airborne, which is, along with this, too nice to keep, not to have. Because, I mean, if I could get vitality on there, that would be nice. But that has the minor problem. I mean, yeah, I know. That would help. Seeing as I'm not sure. Yeah, you see, my energy per second is up a bit. Drain is up a bit. That's interesting. Why is my drain up? I had that lower. That's kind of strange. I have a suspicion duration might actually affect the efficiency. But now you see I've got better health, better shields, I've got adaptation, I've got fast deflection, all of which helps. I've got the reduction. Let's get rid of that and put on. What was it? Not Rush. Can't remember what it was now. Oh, grief. Aviator. Yeah. Not sure that. Yeah, because that does that whole reduced damage by 40% while airborne. Not sure about the cancel. Anybody know what it means when it says cancel? When it cancels vacuum? Oh, which one was it? Iron Cat fight. There we go. Disable vacuum in Razor Wing. Let me have a look and see what that says. What does that actually... I mean, I've looked at this. Sacrifices... Oh, it sacrifices Razor Wing's vacuum-like passive in exchange for reducing damage. Sounds to me like actually I'm better off using Aviator. It is, you know, if I can get the flight. The problem is, I think the duration. Not duration. Yeah, duration. Yeah, I think continue. I think that actually helps. Let me try something here. So, energy per second 2.75. Yeah, you can see the duration actually makes a difference there. So I'd have to sacrifice. Yeah. Do I want to sacrifice? Yeah, it's just so it's only a little bit, but it's half an energy per second, which can make a difference. But on the other hand, I got better health and shields. Is that worth it? I don't know. It's let's give that a bash, shall we? See how I think that works out. It's very tempting, you know, when you're trying to set this up, as I'm sure the more experienced players can attest and probably tell me what I'm doing wrong. To go for damage rather than critical chance, and my instinct is to go for, you know, maximize the amount of fire in a small amount of time with the multi-shot and as much damage as you can do, because that's absolute, rather than risk, you know, critical chance. But critical chance seems to be the way to go. So let's see if we can see how this works. I don't mind. Am I going to gain anything by redoing the same one? Yeah, let's give it a bash, see how that works out. At least I got a bit more shields and health. That'll make a difference.
Their rage is vehement, their focus impressive. Give them all warriors' death.
And yeah, I'm regenerating really slowly there. There is one which increases that no end. I think I'm going to change my mind. There's a very useful little mod. I didn't even really... I wish they'd have that a little bit more nuance. I didn't really start the mission. Yeah, there is one, which is it.
For action.
It is... I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, Energy Nexus. That one's useful. It doesn't work while I'm in flight mode. Yeah, I've seen that, Jerry. Yeah, it's like as I was sort of saying, it's this whole balance thing, and I haven't got it figured out, and I don't have the mods to play a little bit fast and loose. This is almost one of these things. I might conceivably be able to get it absolutely specifically right, and then I change anything and it all goes to hell in a handbasket. But this Energy Nexus, if you're not in flight mode, you regenerate quite quickly, which is nice to have, but then I'd have to sacrifice something. And I don't want to get rid of Streamline.
Do you know which finger corpus used to count their money? The index.
Yeah, and one of the problems is... Oh, actually, do you know what? Oh, I'm being silly here. Gives me a bit more space to maneuver. There we go. I've got a bit more mess around ability. I probably ought. The temptation is to form some of these, but then I will lose out on something else. So how am I going to squeeze Energy Nexus in? Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, Jerry. And then try and adjust based on what I've got. Exactly. Yeah, that is precisely the thing. This is profoundly useful if you're not flying, and then you get that quick regen. But then what would I do? I could get rid of vitality. Yeah, all right. Because to be honest with you, in principle, decent shields, decent and adaptation and fast deflection, very useful to have. And then if I stick Energy Nexus on, that's handy. I'm sorry, I don't actually understand that. What, you mean you pick up the energy orbs? Or am I misunderstanding you? I'm sorry, I'm really not sure what you're talking about now. Okay. Are you talking about what's on my gear? Because I mean, I have not heard that expression, craft a consumable. I mean, I'm assuming you mean gear, but I don't know. Don't forget, I don't necessarily know what the technical expressions. Ah, right. I don't know that I've got anything like that. Yeah, that would be a useful thing. Why have I got that on there? Oh, yeah, that was a... Any idea what that would be? Because I don't know that I've even got that. Oh, that's interesting. There is, in fact, an expression of Warframe energy consumables. Energy orbs, abilities, channeling, and energy restores. Okay. Oh, squad energy restore. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Oh, okay. Ah. Yes, you're quite correct. Thank you very much. You see, this is why we have experts in chat, so that they can tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because let's face it, I've only got 850 hours, no, 846 hours of gameplay, and there's so much that I still don't know. Let's see what it got. Oh, look at that. Energy. So that... That's worth getting just straight off the bat. I know it's only a small, but I might as well. And according to... Let's see. And according to this, I can get the medium. Ah, okay. Arbiters of Hexus or the parent sequence, for neither of which I'm in good standing with, but I think I can get the medium. Oh! Energy Lab, Dojo. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. All I gotta do is... Let's go have a visit to the dojo, because the medium's available there. Let's go grab that. I never even occurred to... the thing is, I probably... Yeah, that would be a wise thing. Because I've seen that. But... let's see. Where's the research labs? And it is going to be... Energy Lab, probably, isn't it? Oh, yes. Oh, look. They have medium. And... good if I'm here. Hang on, what do I know I want? What's the difference? I'll grab everything just on the safe side. While I'm at it... Yeah, that's energy. Oh yeah, that was shield. I'll grab everything. Oh. Anything else that I want while I'm here? It could be handy. Don't think so. That's a good thought. And Let's go have a little look. Alright. Well, that's quite buildable. Takes a minute. Not cheap. Worth it, though. Yeah, let's give that a bash. Only takes a minute. Not cheap. Yes, I have actually used the trading. I have actually used the trading to get stuff. I need to start looking up the some of the mods, yeah, and then see if anybody. I might get lucky. I've had people give me stuff which I considered valuable and rare. Oops, excuse me. And they just gave it to me rather than make platinum.
Operator, you have foundry items ready.
Claim them now.
At your
Okay.
earliest convenience. Ordis keeps a tidy ship, and is therefore reluctant to allow animals on board. In Ordis's experience, animals do not eat so much as reload.
No, actually, it's nothing. Yes, there is that, but not necessarily. I've had people who don't know me from Adam. When I was building the Gunson Prime, I needed an extra blade. When I was okay, slight story, slight divergence here. When I was building the Gunson Prime, I didn't realize it was vaulted. And it was during that process that I learned what vaulted relics and what have you meant. And due to, I think Bracage gave me the relics, and I got very lucky and actually got a blade. Was it a blade? Yeah, one of the blades for it. And offline, off stream, I basically put out a note, anybody got a Gunson Prime blade? Oh, no, correction, I actually said, anybody got the relic? And somebody said, yeah, I got that. And I said, yeah, I'm trying to build a Gunson Prime. He said, yeah, I've got the blade. Do you want it? I said, yes. What do you want for it? And he refused to take platinum. He said, just give me trash. So I did. So I got the blade that way. And this fella didn't know me from Adam. So, yeah, no, it's that there are very generous people. And I've had that happen a few times where people are quite happy to just give me what I wanted. And I have done my best.
Well put together.
Again, off stream. Somebody wanted something, so I gave it to them. Yeah, why not? You know, people have been kind to me, so it seems only fair that I should be kind to somebody else. So, well, no. Sometimes people just. And I understand this because I say I've done it myself. You know, you've got a player who wants something, just give it to them. You know.
Well, it's early where north.
All right, let's try this again.
Their rage is vehement, their focus impressive. Give them all warriors' death.
Let's see how this works. Oh, that's how that works. Okay. Doesn't work while I'm in flight mode. Okay. You'll notice yeah. Oh. What I find terribly amusing is they're fighting the Razor Wings as much as me. Is known technically as a pylon turn, in case anybody was wondering. And it's a genuine thing. Yeah, okay. Definitely too vulnerable for messing around like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Definitely do something like that with somebody else. They'll take the damage. Okay, that was an interesting little experiment. Good to have, though. It is kind of interesting that the throw the kitchen sink at them approach kind of seems to work. This particular configuration is a modification of somebody else's Prime setup for the Dex Pixia Prime. And I modified it because I don't have all the stuff that they did. And this is what they basically had. And they did kick up the critical damage.
Ordis finds it odd that humans only get a few years to live, yet spend most of that time doing everything.
I mean, they had this maxed out, which obviously, yeah, that's very expensive to do, but that would make a significant difference. They didn't have Hornet Strike, which I thought was interesting. They had something else which increased the critical chance. Actually, here's a little experiment. I'm going to put that up. Oh, I can't do both. You. Of course I can't. Yeah. Sorry, that was silly. I can't remember what they had instead of Hornet Strike. They had a different barrel diffusion, but that's simply because I haven't got galvanized barrel diffusion high enough yet for Oh. Oh, that gives me 80% multi-shot. Yeah, I can sort of see the benefit of that. Right now, though, that's actually giving me better multi-shot. What I really ought to do is something like... Hang on a second. Let's stick on fire rate, because I do like my fire rate. What's my fire rate? What's my best one for fire rate? No. Oh, come on. It's very tempting to do things like... No, hang on. Fire rate, there we go. Gunslinger, there we go. Gunslinger's a nice one to have on. That, and because this is actually, my attitude to this is dictated by air-to-air combat. You want a higher fire rate in a fast-moving environment because you might get a very short amount of time to do something useful. And so if you have a high fire rate multi-shot, loads of ammunition that you can just pour it on. The only downside, of course, is my damage total is way down. But I've now increased my chance of actually getting criticals, which is an interesting way of looking at it. I do like having a high fire rate. But now, of course, I've lost any elemental damage except for cold. And I'm back to maximizing slash damage. Which is probably not going to do me a lot of good. Yeah, so it all comes down to... And yeah... So it's then very tempting to say, right, we will compromise. Let's go with, and you can sort of see why people, the setup in particular that I was using as a baseline had I can't remember everything it had now, but Ice Storm gives you the magazine capacity and it gives you cold. Convulsion, and yeah, so they had something like both of these. So you got your critical damage, and yeah, exactly. So you end up saying, okay, we'll take that off, and we'll put oh heck, I don't know. Yeah, ooh, that hurt. So what did they have? What did we have? We had yeah, accelerated isotope. And now I've got to juggle with everything else. So that's fire rate and multi-shot. Drop that down, accelerated isotope. And then you go and you say, right, what are the other ones that I can stick on there? So yeah, you say, oh, we'll stick that on, and magnetic might, So now you've got sort of a whole pile of everything. Your critical chance has gone up. And all of a sudden you've got lots of nice benefits and lots of potential damage. Even though, yeah, is it worth doing? So And this is something I observed with, like I say, this online trick, and I'd link it, but I can't remember where it is now. And they had multiple elemental damages, and I think some of it was, I think they actually did have magnetic might, or was it accelerator? But yeah, so they've got these multiples thrown in there, and it's instead of being specific for the mission, it becomes just throw the kitchen sink at them and hope your critical chance and damage are high enough when the time comes. You know, and you still, oh, I want to have pistol gambit on there. Well, you've seen what I've got. Yeah, so I've got things like stunning speed and pistol pestilence, which gives you status chances. So I could, but on the other hand, here's my critical chance thing. So again, it all comes down to, so I could get rid of Hornet Strike, which of course is a big damage one, and stick on, oh, I don't know, pistol pestilence.
Foundry items ready to claim, operator.
Oh, well, I've forgotten I was building that. I could put Sure Shot on, you know, give myself a better status chance instead of that. Yeah, I know that's not a very good way of doing it, but still. Yeah, no, it's. It might be worth a try, because sometimes I swear it's almost a case if you get lucky. I mean, the people who are really experienced with this kind of thing unquestionably will be able to lay everything out nice and easily. Yeah. So let's just have a little bash, just for the heck of it. I mean,
Well put together, operator. Now get out there and
Cut down the...
make the load.
it's just, it seems to me, if you're flying, the gun is almost the only way to go. Especially with this, if you get too close in, you're going to get hurt. My observation is that the razor wings are really useful because they distract. Because you're relatively small, you're harder to hit and sometimes harder to see. Instead of just diving into the steel path on a record of failure, let's go and see how it works on something like Helene, because why not? Oh, got here just in time. Yeah, I hadn't realized this, but where's my... This isn't much of a test, is it, really? Yeah, no, not much of a test. Where's my razor? Oh, there they are. Yeah, the razor wings are hilarious. I only realized this today earlier when I was messing around with one of the Steel Path missions, one of the earliest ones, And I suddenly realized they're actually fighting the Razor Wings. They're not fighting me. So they actually make for a rather good distraction. I'm not seeing damage in the regions, in the areas that I would like. Like, everything's dying so fast. It's not actually... That's one of the odd things too. If everything dies too quickly, you don't really get a good chance for criticals. Because everything's just dead. Yeah. Oh, that's better. Interesting. Slightly tougher, and then you get more chance. It's like Tenakai. If at least it seems to be, if the enemy goes down fast enough, if the enemy goes down fast enough, there's no point in having the Tenakai. The simplest way is actually
We're done here. The extraction.
no, but for experimenting with this kind of thing, actually doing the early level steel path actually works pretty good, I think. Yeah, let's do that. And it seems a bit cheaty, you know, to go to Earth and say, right, we're going to do E Prime, which is, I think, the very first. And this actually gives you a good opportunity, I found earlier, especially if you're solo, to actually see what happens.
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths, and I with your victory.
But yeah, it's the funny thing is they're fighting the Razor Wings. Okay, I've done better with this. Yeah, this is too much of a grind. I've actually done much better than this. Right now they're fighting the Razor Wings more than me. But it's taking too long. Yeah, it's taking far too long. Yeah. See, look at this one. He's not really focusing on me. He's focusing on the Razor Wings. And it's still taking too long. And when Malice shows up, it's going to be difficult. And I'm running out of energy. Yeah, because that's the balance. I need as much energy as fast as possible to sustain what I'm doing.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Practice mode would be handy. Is there a practice mode? this is the downside. I need everything to die quickly so I can pick up the energy orbs. And yes, I know I've got those consumables now, but actually, here's another thought. This is... And this only makes sense if I get a moment, you know? All kinds of things. It might be the problem. Yeah, I've done better. This is not working. Yeah, this is not working. No, I've had better results on that. That was going to take absolutely forever. Now I wish I could remember what my was. Yeah, the energy nexus is useful when you're not walking around. Duration really does help. Let's get rid of that. Not sure. What did I originally have? Oh, that's right. And there. And yeah. Sorry? Yeah, I know. It was actually pretty good. Now, this is my normal sort of default for this, which generally serves me in pretty good stead.
Now, we'll be knocking all the way.
So I'm going to go back to that.
Operator.
And yeah, I've got some opportunity for prime flow, so I can kick things up a bit. But
Shadow up.
yeah, I can't. Do you know what the funny thing is? I think what I actually did originally was something like actions auto install. Yeah, you see, the auto install can be surprisingly good. The trick mag is a waste of time. But suddenly, yeah, the auto install could actually do some rather amusing stuff. And actually, there's a lot of here that makes a sort of sense. The only thing I don't like is that the magazine has dropped down. The fire rate is pretty good. Yeah, so you can see what it's done. Accelerated isotope, lethal torrent, pistol pestilence, convulsion, primed heated charge. It's and this is not yeah, a bit there for the slash, status chance, multi-shot, hornet strike. This actually, strangely, probably would work. The only thing I dislike about it is the fire rate could be higher. And yeah, let's see, what did I have for? I had Ice Storm, yeah, instead of Pistol Pestilence. So I've substituted status chance for magazine capacity. Slip magazine is completely pointless. I think. Is it? Oh, I can't put it there anyway. Actually, yeah, the closest... Yeah, Trick Mag. Completely pointless on this. But now, of course, yeah, my critical chance and damage and status is down, but yeah, that's over 9,000. So what I could do is let's see what I could replace. What can I get away as? That gives me a bit better there. Damage is still over 7,000. Yeah, I know that's not the best place to put it. Oh, wait a minute. I can swap those two out. Here we go. Critical damage is magnetic might. So I could replace... Or I could put target cracker on something. Hang on, what did I just take off? I put target. Oh, I took, yeah. So, yeah, it's... Hang on a second. I would need to stick something like a kind of stinger on something instead of... Yeah, of course not. Yeah, you end up second guessing yourself a lot. So yeah, it's going to come down to, it's also going to come down to a balance between yeah, critical damage, status, actual damage, critical chance. Yeah, you of course you're fiddling around with all these things. That probably works a bit better. It's something's got to stick, hasn't it? Yeah, I don't like going on missions and then abandoning them. Let's go and see, because yes, you're right. I think there is a way of let's go and have a little chat with Cephalon Solaris. See what he's got for me. Let's see what we got. Now, this obviously is not helpful. This is where I make my short videos about getting through the mastery tests. I think I can't remember if I mentioned it, Jerry. I don't know whether you've even seen them, but I've got this series for basically, I don't do the commentary, I just show how I did it. Passing the mastery level tests. And for some strange reason, in the short time that it's been up, I've got 100 and something odd views for mastery rank 17 test using a Gauss prime. Yeah, why is everybody interested in that one? I think it's my most watched in that series, which isn't saying a lot, but it's still kind of funny. The mastery rank 17 test is not hard. No, that's not what I'm
These can make you an even stronger hunter. I will share what I know, but you must prove
Yeah,
it.
I don't have much standing with him. I haven't actually come and looked at some of this. Let's see what he's got. Is that offerings? This is research. Oh, but you know, I've never looked at this. Huh. Oh, I ought to pay more attention to that. That I had no idea was here. Yeah, but Jerry, I think you're higher level than me, aren't you?
You are a worthy hunter, Tenno.
What's this one? No idea what that is.
I can see you are hungry for the knowledge.
Actually, I am definitely going to have to pay more attention to this. Yeah, that's an interesting series there.
Do not disappoint me, hunter.
And that one I can't get access to. Yeah, true, maybe. The hardest one of the lot. The hardest one of the lot is number 9, I think, the stealth one. I think that's the hardest. Okay, let's I'm going to take a quick break shortly. Hang on a second. I'm just going to go check my own playlist over here. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Which is the hardest? It was... Oh, that's funny. I think it's number 9. Yes, number 9. Number 9 I found the hardest so far. That's the stealth one. That took me forever to figure out. Yeah, the Mastery Rank 17 one is my most watched. 125 views since Saturday. Don't ask me why that one's so popular. Specifically, Mastery Rank 17 test with a Gauss prime. With Titania, the same test with Titania Prime, 16 views. Now, Mastery Rank 17 with a Titania Prime is so easy, it's ridiculous. But no, with a Gauss Prime, 125 views. And it's actually not that difficult to test with a Gauss Prime. I ought to take... I'm considering doing sort of dafter combinations, you know. Can I do Mastery Rank 17 with an Excalibur? Right, I'm actually going to go and take a quick potty break. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Right, I'm back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, for the first 8 levels in that series, I deliberately did them with an unmodded Excalibur and unmodded base weapons. Okay, the Excalibur was at level 30 because that's what I had, but I made it about as hard as I could, just to demonstrate. Mastery rank 9, the one that I did here, the replay, I did with an Excalibur Umbra because that's how I actually defeated it. Because by that point, I had Excalibur Umbra and I had Hate. And that's what I had. And then after that, it gets so variable as to what people may or may not have. I just pretty much did them as is. But I ought to I could easily expand it to just to give people better ideas. I'm kind of hoping at some point people will give me requests. Can you do mastery rank 17 with an Excalibur? Actually, that's an interesting point. No. Yeah, let's just go with Excalibur. Why have I got Dread? Yeah, so what I would do is... yeah, I haven't obviously spent much time with this one. But let's just go with config B and... yeah, just do it blank. I wonder, actually, do I have a basic bow? I don't, do I? Have I got a basic weapon? I don't have a... I did actually go to the effort of getting basic weapons for some of the early stuff. And don't have anything particularly basic anymore. Let's go with Paris Prime. Despair. And swap that out for... where's my sword? Come on. I had a... Yeah, the Dragon Nikana. Yeah, there we go. I mean, that's
Well put together, operator.
a pretty basic setup, to be honest.
Cut down the...
And now I'm curious if I can do my own Mastery Rank 17 with an unmodded Excalibur. That would be interesting. So I wasn't intending doing this, I just thought it was funny. This should be 17. Yeah. Let's see if I can actually do this one with the unmodded Excalibur. Oh! No, not 17, 18. Okay. Oh, this is actually going to be interesting.
To have extra seconds added to the clock.
Nicely recovered. Nope, I'm not going to be able to do this time. Yeah, no, it's not going to work.
It appears you need more practice, Tenno. This challenge awaits you.
Hi, Tony. Yeah, this one would be an interesting challenge, actually. I'll give it one more bash for the fun of it. Just focus on heading for the orbs.
Let's see how you work under pressure. Eliminate all enemies before the timer reaches 0. Melee strike the orbs to have extra seconds added to the clock.
Oh yeah, no, I'm never gonna make it in time. Ah! Alright, the weapon doesn't matter so much. It's definitely the ability to get there fast.
Only return when you are ready for this challenge.
It's a lot easier with Titania, I can tell you. Okay, I'll give it one more chance. Just for the heck of it.
Let's see how you work under pressure. Eliminate all...
Got a suspicion.
Timer reaches 0. Melee strike the orbs to have extra seconds added to the clock.
Yeah, this is doable. Arguably. And now I've got to wait for the next one. Ah,
Appears you need more practice, Tenno.
okay.
This challenge will
Definitely doable.
when you are ready.
I just need to get slightly luckier with the orbs. And if I'd actually spent a little more time killing things, that would actually have worked. So, yeah, you can do it with a slow... That's with a relatively slow Warframe. So, yeah. There's some possibilities there. Can you do it with a unmodded Excalibur? And the simple answer is probably yeah, actually. Don't think the damage matters so much. If I had... Hello, Angel Pair. I think I said hello to everybody else. Yep. Hey, Tony. Yeah, it would have been a lot easier. It would have been a lot easier with that sprint speed. I almost guarantee it. As you can tell, I have not spent so much time with this. Yeah, that would have been a lot easier. Right. But I was fiddling around with Titania, wasn't I? Yeah, with Titania, it's ridiculously easy. You literally just fly. 18's easier. I could do you know what? I could probably do 18 with that Excalibur. That would have been relatively straightforward, I think. Hang on, now I'm curious. Yeah, I'll stick with that for the sake of argument. It's not really going to make a huge amount of difference.
Ordis is picking up a distress signal. Wait, no. It's just the corpus peddling their wares again.
Get off the emergency frequency!
I think 18 with this would actually be relatively straightforward. Yeah, for me it was 9. Actually, no, the first one was, I think, 7. Is it 7? 7 was the one where I had to do parkour, and I'm no good with parkour. I think it was 7. But if you take your time, it's not that bad. Oh, 19. Sorry. Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, so the one that required parkour, yeah, that was difficult for me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this one. This is as high as I've got, so... I think this one's relatively straightforward.
Protect yourself, but can you protect others at the same time? Survive each wave while defending the objective.
Yeah, this one should be straightforward. Should be. Oh, the disappearing platform ones, I use Titania. Okay, doing 900,000 damage might be a little bit non-typical, I don't know. Alright, see you later. Have a good day. I'm actually very close to not making it. This is not a good combination, I can tell you. I'm probably not going to make this one. Come on, switch weapons. Oh, this thing's being weird on me. Yeah. Okay. Why is it not letting me use the bow? There we go. It is doable.
A formidable performance. This test is now complete.
Yeah, but again, I was distinctly handicapped there doing it with Wisp, not Wisp. Yeah, So yeah, you can do it with an Excalibur, a slow weapon, and a bow. Oh, and daggers. So yeah, yeah, it's. Yeah, I think I first did that with Wisp. Oh, yeah, Tony, you're asking what kind of fight? It's the tests you have to take for mastery ranks, and I think I did it. I think. Do you know what? Now I can't remember what I did it with. I think I did it with the Wisp. Now I'm going to find out. I'm pretty certain I did it with the Wisp. Not Wisp. I'm sorry. Titanium. I don't like the glaives. I really don't like glaives. Yeah, if you want to get levels in the game, you have to pass these tests when you get enough experience. And I did a whole playlist of them, and they're fairly short.
Tenno, you can protect yourself, but can you protect others at the same time? Survive each wave while defending the objective.
I think I did it with this. Just let the Razor Wings do the damage. It's a lot easier with a lot easier. Don't even need to see the enemy half the time, just let the Razor Wings get them. It's really easy with titanium. A lot of the later ones are much easier with titanium. Level 17, dash from place to place. Yeah, you just fly. So. But that one I have to record for uploading this weekend. I typically upload videos, not live streams, at the weekend. So that I will record for this weekend. And then it's going to take me a while to get to level 19. But what we were doing was, or I was doing, trying to come up with a halfway decent configuration for this that will work.
All set. Service your weapons myself.
That will work with the steel path. And the problem is now I'm finding myself compromising things into inefficiency, if you like. This I would like to replace with rush, but reduced damage while airborne is very handy to have. Don't like being that slow, but seeing as I'm spending most of my time flying anyway. So this is the one where I'm sort of struggling with coming up with a halfway decent configuration. Yeah, critical chance, pistol gambit. So I've got prime pistol gambit on there. I mean, technically, what I ought to do is say, right, I'm just going to do blast damage. Just blast. So we'll take off that, take off lethal torrent, take off accelerated isotope, and stick for something cold. Oops. Yeah, if you put on deep freeze. Right, so now I've got halfway decent blast damage. And then say, right, let's see if we can increase the critical chance. Pistol gambit. Oh, I've already got that on there. Do I have anything else? Weak point damage. See, this requires headshots. This might be worth it.
Knock.
Yeah, half the problem with the critical chance ones is they sort of require headshots.
Operator.
Hey, Danny, how are you doing?
Should answer that.
Critical damage. Yeah, target cracker, I've already gone there. And now we're looking at, we'll stick magnetic might on. Status. Let's see, what have I got? Sure shot. So you pop sure shot on, your status goes up. Oh, that might be useful to have. I got prime pistol gambit on there. That's at 136%. Galvanized crosshairs. But see, this is on headshot. That's... Oh no. Oh, I can't stack it with pistol gambit. Ooh, well, actually, then what we can do is pop that on instead. Can I put that on instead? No, I can't. Okay. So that's about my lot for critical chance, critical damage. Then I'm starting to look at, well, stick magnetic might on. And now I'm doing blast and magnetic. But my fire rate's absolutely tanked. What? How the heck did I do that? How did I drop that so bad? Hang on. Okay, that's... So I hadn't realised that. That's slightly disturbing. And now I'm compromising myself into incapacity. So yeah, I've got my blast damage all right. I've got my status nicely up. That's about as good as I can get it without doing things like this. But damage is way down. This is only good for a few things. Oh, right. Excuse me a moment. And now I've forgotten how I got up there in the first place. If I just go with the default, and Trick Mag is a waste of time. If I just go with the defaults, it does very nicely. Except for, yeah, because they obviously went to maximum damage. Slash is its primary. And so, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I might just try that and see what happens. Let's give that a bash, just for the fun of it. Because that's the highest damage I've been able to get. Let's see. Something that won't damage my... Let's see if I can wait for some players, see if anybody else wants to do Cobra on the Steel Path. I doubt it, but... Ah, heck, I can't be bothered. Let's just go with this one. See how this works. I'm sorry you had a day at work. Don't forget to say hi to Peanut and Lola for me.
Underestimate them at your peril.
This is not great. Oh, it's okay. All I can say is thank goodness for razor wings.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
You know what? Shooting them from on high, which I normally disapprove of because it's might be a good thing because it gives you better chance at headshots. This is fairly typical, I found, by the way, for Steel Path before you get used to it. Get used to it. Yeah, first time I did Steel Path was with a Gauss Prime, and it was far worse than this.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Where I'm gonna have fun. Is when I get Malice show up. And this is where life gets interesting.
My Warframe is strong.
Well, that's strong, dear. Oh, what's this doing? I can just clear out the other bits. Alice, stop doing that. See how this is going to work out.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. That worked out better than I expected. If I just get my energy levels back up, I might do okay.
isn't.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Headshot's definitely the way to go. Oh boy, this is tiring. Hey, I got the Tor on strike.
I'm here, darling.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Never irritate someone who can just deliver a Tor on strike. Oh dear. Oh, sorry. Oh, hurry up and die already.
Broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
Yeah.
There. That's better.
Valuable lesson.
Yep. Tor on strike on Malice really works. There you go. There's your lesson for that. Sorry, I just saw some of the comments here. Yeah, it's the whole oh, what is it? Yeah, critical damage. And I'm pretty much maxed out on that. What was I building here? Oh. Oh. My favorite secondary is well, yeah, you probably know what my favorite secondary is. Velox Prime. I love this thing, but for the Steel Path, I will have to admit it's not fantastic. What would I do for a Steel Path? Grief. This has actually got the same problems. You could actually set this up the same as the Depixia Primes, now that I think about it. It's not got enough former, but you could actually set it up exactly the same as a Depixia, I think. So whatever works on that should work equally well on this. I'll have to give that a try at some point, but here I'm too, what's the expression? Conservative? Yeah. This does not work well on the Steel Path at all. To be honest with you, some of the a Gauss Prime doing that same thing. Actually, let's have a little look. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, the ribbons are peculiar. I've managed to unlock one, and it's completely useless to me. Actually, let's have a little look here. I'm gonna have to. Oh, grief! Is that the time? Huh. I was gonna run a Gauss. I don't have the time to run it. I was gonna switch to Gauss because the Gauss gets through some of the Steel Path much more easily. To be honest with you, running with Titania, as much fun as she can be, is, I won't say it requires more skill, because that's then going to be implying that I have some skill, which I really don't. But Titania is more for Steel Path in particular. I'm going to say Titania is like balancing something on the edge of a razor blade. Gauss can punch through stuff that Titania simply can't at this point. I think if I went and reran that with the Gauss Prime, I wouldn't have any trouble at all. It would be a lot easier. And that's because I would be doing melee all the time. And as you know, when I do melee, I tend to do Tenno Tantrums with lots of heavy charged attacks simultaneously, because I can do that. But you can't do it when you're shooting at things with Titania. So this was not what I was expecting to do today, but actually, for me at least, it was minor. It was somewhat fun. I need better mods, and I need to start looking at trading for them and that kind of thing.
Safe and sound.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. I might have to give that a try. If I don't remember, and there's a chance I will not, or will remember, I don't know. I'll have to give that a bash. But yeah, no, I actually need to get on. So I will, for those interested, and just for context, this is not a scheduled live stream. My 5 a.m. live streams are primarily because I'm awake. So I might as well do it. My first scheduled live stream of the day will be in 2 hours, when I'll be doing the Long Dark, as Danny knows. So I will see you all in a couple of hours, maybe, or next time. And for me, it's 7 a.m. in the morning, and I've been awake since 2:30. Don't go there. So I will see you all soon. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a good evening or a good day. Remember to hug your Kubrow or your Kavat.